Hey everyone, it's Monkey. I want to do a quick video for you, kind of riffing on the enchanting table and how you get enchanting done in Valheim using epic loot. So we're right in front of the enchanting table right now, and I've got an item that I want to craft on, specifically because I've got a fight coming up against Bonemass, and I want the best mace that I can have against him. Maces are blunt, and Bonemass takes extra damage from blunt. So we're going to go over enchanting using most of the options on the table, and when I'm done in working on that item, then we'll talk about how you get the materials for enchanting. So the magic iron mace is what I want to craft on. Right now it's got one really bad roll on it. I say that that's bad because health critical means your health has to be below 30% in order for the bonus to work, and that's just not cool. So because I have a couple bounty tokens from Halder, I can actually disenchant this mace, and then we're going to re-enchant it. Now I could have maybe melted the mace or maybe craft a mace from scratch, but the mace is worth basically 20 iron if I just recraft on it. And I feel like it's more worth it to preserve those 20 iron, so then I could then use them for, say, upgrading this mace to level 2 or 3, or crafting another item that I don't already have available to me. So since I have plenty of iron bounty tokens, I'm just going to go ahead and disenchant this, and then we'll move into enchanting. So that's it. Now it's a normal iron mace, just like if I crafted it from the forge. In order to enchant, so there's a lot of options over here, but in order to enchant, you're going to pick the enchant option, pick the item you want to enchant, and then pick the rarity that you want to enchant. Now, with magic items, they're going to roll with from 1 to 3 effects, minimum of 1, rares a minimum of 2. I only have rare runestones. We'll get into that later. So we're going to be going with a rare enchant on this mace right now. And then I also need dust and essences. So with the 1 runestone, 5 dust, and 5 essences, I'll get at least 2 rolls. As long as, I hit something good like physical damage or added blunt, stuff like that. Those would all be acceptable. There's other ones that'll be fine too, but let's see what happens. All right, plus 9% damage, health critical, and lifesteal health critical. Neither of those, I don't want either of those. Again, health critical, your health has to be below 30%, and I'm not doing a low life build. I haven't really seen a low life build as far as epic loot goes, and I don't want to fight Bonemass. I don't want to fight a poisoning boss, particularly, with below 30% health. So what I'm going to do with that now is I'm going to... you have 2 options at this point. So I could choose to augment it. Okay, augmenting allows you to pick one of the mods and basically re-roll it. It'll cost you, this time it won't cost you the initial, what do you call it? The runestone, but it'll cost like some shards. And I have plenty of those mats. I could roll them off, but both the mods suck, in my opinion. So because I have a couple more enchants that I can do, I'm actually going to disenchant it one more time. And we're going to try this enchant one more time. And then I'm going to have to stick with whatever effects I've got. At least I have an iron mace, but it would be nice if I could get some better rolls on it. Added slash, that's fine, and attack speed. Both are good. Attack speed means I'm going to be hitting the dude 8% faster. That's ostensibly 8% more damage. And the added slash, even though Bonemass is not vulnerable to slash, I don't remember if he's resistant to it or not. I'd have to look it up. But even just regular fighting mobs, an extra 2 damage isn't bad. I mean, that's almost a little less than a 5% damage increase just with the slash itself, and 4%, right? And that leads us to augmenting. So with that slash roll, we feel like it's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to come to the table here, We have Augment selected, pick our mace, and we do like the attack speed. That's pretty good. But we're going to take a shot at rolling the slash off. Either we'll get a higher percent of slash, or maybe we'll get a physical damage increase, which will bump all of those bonuses, or something else. Let's take a shot and see what we get out of that. We can either keep slash, or we can imbue fire, or we can imbue frost. I'm actually going to go with frost for a couple reasons. One, it slows things when you hit them, which is cool. And two, Bonemass is vulnerable to frost in addition to being vulnerable to blunt. So we're going to pick that one. Now we've got a 4% frost. We could roll off the same augment again, the same bonus again. If you want to roll off the other bonus, it's going to cost a boatload of gold. It's not worth doing that. So we're going to take a shot at maybe rolling frost again to see what we can get, just because we have the mats for it. It's either keep frost, add spirit, or add slash. Even though those percents are higher, I'm actually going to keep frost again because the slow component that frost adds, Bonemass isn't going to be able to be slowed. It's really against other mobs that I'm going to be fighting in the future, like wolves in the next biome. It'd be really good to slow wolves down so they don't bite you as fast. But the fact that Bonemass is vulnerable to frost means he's going to take a little bit more damage from that attack anyway. So now we're going to talk real briefly about acquiring mats. A lot of these materials, there are a couple different rule sets you can use in Epic Loot. One of them is mobs drop materials. Another rule set would be, like the one I'm using, is that the mobs that you kill can drop magic items, like already enchanted magic items. That's how I got the magic mace. Either way, regardless of what rule set you pick, if an item already drops with enchants on it, you can disenchant it to get it materials, or you could just have the mobs drop materials, depending on what kind of rules you want to roll with. In order to get shards, usually that's actually by melting down trophies. So, for example, I have trophies over here, surtling trophies, Grey Dwarf Brute trophies, skeleton trophies, all those things. Those, they disenchant into shards based off of how tough the creature was. Usually all the meadows biomes are going to be blue shards. Some of the Black Forest are going to be blue and overlap into yellow, and the swamp is yellow overlapping into epic, I would say, but I don't really recall anything in the swamp that was epic because I don't have any epic shards. The next biome, definitely in the mountains, there'll be epic shards. The other remaining item to get, if you want to enchant something from scratch, would be a runestone. Runestones only come from melting the trophies that you get from killing bosses. So the Meadows boss, Eikthyr, is going to drop his trophy, and you will melt that, basically. You'll come back in here and disenchant it into a runestone. These rare runestones I got from killing the Elder. After the first time I killed him, I turned in the trophy, and then I went back and I killed him a few more times to get a few runestones so that I could enchant some items to the rare quality level. And then I think that pretty much covers obtaining most of those materials. The only other material I talked about was the Iron Bounty Token. That one you get by going to Halder. I've covered him in other parts of my series, but Halder is the merchant that you normally would buy Medjingord from, and you'd sell your rubies and other things to. In Epic Loot, he adds a whole nother section here where he's got items you can gamble for. He's got bounties you can go out and do, so you can add tough creatures to the map. When you go out and defeat them, you then return to him, collect your bounty. He'll give you some bounty tokens and some gold, and then you can use that to gamble with. That's how I got my epic Stagbreaker, was gambling. I got an epic Iron Buckler from gambling. You could also, there are these treasure maps you can buy. Treasure maps reward you with these forest tokens, and forest tokens could be used to buy runestones. So you could buy them that way. If I wanted to go out and collect forest tokens by doing treasure, there's just a lot of options you can do as far as that to collect materials and whatnot. That's it. Now I've got a decent iron mace. I'm ready to go beat up Bonemass, but that's for a different video. So hopefully this was informative. If you have any questions or any other aspects of Epic Loot that you want me to cover, feel free to drop a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.